Every seller in foreclosure has options, and how you present those options may be the difference between you getting a deal and you walking away empty-handed. In this video, I've put together a compilation of different situations where I go over the 5-option framework with sellers. I've used this framework to stop over 700 foreclosure deals and has been the foundation for what I've built now, the niche community. This is a video you can come back to again and again to work on your sales skills or train your acquisition people to work on theirs.
Notice the speed in which I talk,
the tonality in which I speak,
and my ability to gain rapport with sellers. Study this framework again and again. It's a proven process. Let's go ahead and dive in. Do you want to go through all your options right now?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So number 1 is by far the best option. It's called a reinstatement. I imagine that you've probably talked to your lender about that, but all that means is that you're paying the money that is back due at the moment. Do you know about how much that is?
About $15,000 with the lawyer's fees. It would have been $10,000 without the lawyer.
Okay. And is that an amount of money you think you could come into before Monday there?
It was going to be a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I could have broken it up, but I don't know if they need the whole amount or if they could break it up in payments or not.
So usually the lender's going to want all of it at once. I wish they would do installment sales, but unfortunately they don't do that most of the time. I mean, do you have a family or friends that can lend that type of money?
I did call some people, but since it's kind of like squeeze time,
mm-hmm.
and I was trying to get a reinstatement, today would have been the day that they were going to answer me.
Right.
I do need to call just to make sure, but I think they were leaning towards telling me no.
Okay.
I mean, they kept saying, well, with 5 more days, and I didn't want it to get to sale time and they're study telling me you got 5 more days,
right?
Before we can give you an answer.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
well, definitely.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
I can call them today to find out exactly what the answer was because I don't really know, but I'm thinking that it was going to be a no.
Okay. Well, that's your first option. I would prefer you to go down that path because once you reinstate and you paid that $15,000 or so, then things go back to the way they were, all as well.
Okay.
Option number 2 would have been a really good option if you had more time. It's called a loan modification. I didn't know if you had spoken with PHH about that.
Yeah, I tried to do all of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were they saying about the loan mod?
Well, that's what I needed to call to find out today.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, definitely give them a call. It's worth the effort. With this amount of time, it's probably going to be tough to get that approved, but it has been done before. But what that will do is wrap that $15K into a new payment plan to where you can kind of pay that over time. So that would be the second best option if you can get PHH to get on board with that.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Third option's my least favorite, but it's very effective. Chapter 13, bankruptcy.
Okay.
So that's basically putting a Band-Aid on an infected wound. It will stop the immediate situation, but it doesn't solve the problem.
Right.
So we could help you with filing that. I have a third-party person that could help you with that, and we generally pay for that for our clients. But that would stop the sale for 30 to 60 days, but that bankruptcy would stay with you for better part of a decade on your record. Okay. So that's a last-ditch effort if we had to, but it is an option.
Okay.
Fourth option is a cash sale. You're familiar with that and probably been talking about that with other people, so we don't really need to talk about that one. Fifth option is called subject to. I don't know if anyone has brought that up with you.
No. Okay. The fifth option is called subject to?
Yeah, subjectto. Basically, it's a fancy way of saying that I could catch up the money that's past due, that $15K, and I would take ownership of the house and make payments every month. And if we decided it was mutually beneficial, you could potentially stay there long term. And then there have been many times where on the back end, I could either sell it back to you, or perhaps I could put some money into the house and we could partner on the proceeds. There's a lot of possibilities. And that's just something we would have to have a conversation and see what works for you and your family.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay, so that would mean that you would buy the home,
mm-hmm.
and I would pay.
So the way it would work is I would catch up that past due, that $15K.
Okay.
I would take ownership of the house, but the loan would stay in your name. So I basically assume the loan, and I would be making payments on the loan every month. And if we decided it was mutually beneficial, you could stay in the house as a tenant and pay me a very reasonable amount of rent, or...
Okay, so the loan would stay in my name?
Correct.
So I would still just be making the payments?
So I would technically be in charge of making the payments. So I would be making the payments in your name, which a small side perk is that because I would be making those payments, your credit would improve a little bit. That's just a small side benefit. But if we decided you could stay there as a tenant for a long period of time or a short period of time, depending on what the situation is. And then we've gone a bunch of different routes. Sometimes after you found a new house, let's say, which we can help you with, we list the house and we partner on those proceeds. Sometimes I put money into the house and we list it for full retail and we partner on that. That's the cool thing about real estate is we can do a bunch of different things and get to the end result. So it can be very creative depending on the situation with the house and the numbers and all that.
Okay. That sounds cool.
And it sounds kind of complicated over the phone, but if we talked about it in person, we could break down the math and kind of show you exactly how it would work. But it's just something that provides flexibility. Okay. So those are kind of the 5 options. You got the reinstatement, loan modification, Chapter 13 bankruptcy, cash sale, and then subject to there.
Okay, cash sale. Okay.
I can walk you through all 5 of the options that you have, and you can ask me any question during that time. So.
Absolutely.
Okay. So number 1 is a reinstatement. A reinstatement just means you're paying that money that you're behind at the moment. So do you have an idea on about how much you're behind, give or take?
I don't. It's definitely more than what I have in my pocket right now, unfortunately.
Okay. Good deal. So probably not going to be the reinstatement if you don't have that money. The second option, I don't know if you've talked to your lender about a loan modification at all?
I have not.
Okay. So that loan modification is more for if you want to live there long term. You could speak with the lender, see what they could do to kind of wrap that money you're behind into a longer term payment. And your payment would probably go up a little bit, but it would allow you to pay that off over time. But it doesn't really sound like that's really your goal to do something like that. Okay. Well, I guess we can kind of just skip to that cash sale option because it sounds like that's what you're wanting to do. With that option, we would meet you out at the house. We would walk through the property, kind of take a look at it, and just discuss with you on what your needs are, how much money you're needing for the house, and what type of money does it take to get you to your ideal, realistic outcome there. And see if we can come up with a solution that works. And then we would close within a handful of days and, get this, chapter behind you.
Okay. So if that is the option that we are wanting to take, I guess the questions that I would have is, because I obviously want to get whatever I can out of the house. Of
course.
How do you guys work with closing costs? What percentage? Because I know that, of course, with working with the realtor, they have their own percentage that they have to take out. What is your guys' percentage versus that?
So a realtor, you're going to have probably 8 to 9% in closing costs.
And then right now, I don't know if you pay attention to the market and how it's going, but the housing market slowed significantly just because
Right.
of interest rates. It's gone from, 3 to about 8% in the last
Right.
year or so. So it's just taking a lot longer to sell houses. Like used to, you probably know, you could get an offer on day 0 of listing the house and get 2 or 3 offers. But right now it's
Right.
taking 30 to 40 days just to get an offer.
Right.
And that's what is concerning with foreclosure situations, is that,
Okay.
that whole time you're up against the clock. But with us, of course, we want to make a profit. You would make a little bit more probably going on the market, but it's just a matter of, can you get it sold, before that foreclosure sale.
Right.
So I could walk you through all the numbers from both directions and kind of just, give you both options and let you weigh those and see if we're a good option. And if we're not, we can definitely refer you to an agent that could list at a discount. But with the timeline and with how the market it is, it's just tough to go the MLS route right now.
Right. Right.
But what we could do is just set up an appointment, talk it through. You're not obligated to work with us. We just want to give you all your options and, help you gain some clarity on what the best path is for you and your family there. How are you?
Good.
So the reason I dropped by, I just noticed your lender was giving you grief on the house here, and they had started foreclosure process. There's not a date set yet, but I just want to drop by, see if I could give you some information on all the things you could do to stop foreclosure, and just be helpful for you.
What do I need to do to stop the foreclosure? Well, I got somebody who wants to buy it.
Yeah, and I buy houses as well, but really my job is just to walk you through all your options and just be someone that could aid you and give you all the resources you need. Would you want to go through those?
Got a guy who wants to buy it.
Yeah.
Sure, exactly.
Who's that? I'm just curious, a family friend or investor?
Down the street. Guy who owns Diamond Muffler.
Yeah. Would you want to go through those options while I'm here? I mean, there's no pressure at all. I just want to give you all the options. That way you can make a good decision for yourself.
Well, I wanted him to buy it so I can get out from underneath this.
So you're wanting to sell.
Yeah.
Would you be open to another offer? I mean, the way we're a turnkey situation to where we of course can buy the house, but then we can do, a post-possession period to where we could help you find new housing, we could help you move, we could connect you with whatever resources you need. We just want to have the process be as easy as possible. I don't know how that gentleman operates, but we help people out of foreclosure. That's all we do. And I was actually in foreclosure back in 2014 myself, so I know how that feels. And I would have wanted someone to come beside me, walk me through the whole thing, and have a team behind you that can give you whatever you need to get to the next phase of your life.
Well, they're going to retire in September, and that's what I
Oh
want.
yeah? What do you do?
I work at the post office.
Oh, cool. You over here on Market or
No, I'm up downtown.
downtown?
I'm a ramp clerk. I go downtown, clock in, I get a van, go up to the airport.
Okay.
I work all night, so
So what do you, I know you want to sell, you want to get to the next phase. I mean,
well, see, I wanted to sell it to him and then rent it out to him until I retire and then leave.
oh, you wanted to rent.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted
Another
to sell-
option.
I wanted to sell it to him so I could rent.
So another option that I have,
Retire.
and I'd be happy to go through all those. One of them is called Subject to. Subject to is like a fancy way of saying that I could catch up the money that's behind. Do you know how much you're behind, give or take?
Shit. Probably about, I want to say it's somewhere around 9 or 10 grand.
Okay. So one of those things that we offer is bringing that mortgage current. We would take ownership of the house, and you could stay here as a tenant for as long as you wanted to, or until we found something else for you. That's one thing we offer. That's why I wanted to go through all these options. That way you could be aware of every avenue that you could take. That would be helpful for you. And be the solution that you wanted.
Right. Yeah. I gotta do something because
Yeah.
I got a lot of shit in here. My wife passed away.
Oh, jeez. When was that?
2022.
Oh.
September.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Was that expected or?
Yeah, not really. It was. It wasn't. So.
Yeah.
Then I just want to get out.
Yeah. Well, I know I caught you out of the blue here. I mean, would you want to have a further conversation right now, or would you like me to come back? My office is actually, I'm in the old bridge space. You said you were a mail guy, so we're in the old post office there, downtown Lee Summit. That's where our office is, but I'd be happy to come back and set another time to talk.
Yeah, I'd do that.
Okay. When would you like to speak again?
Monday probably better because I work all night.
Yeah. I didn't wake you up, did I?
A little bit.
A little bit. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm sorry. I got kiddos, so they keep me up all night, so I value my sleep too. Well, would it be okay if I just grabbed your number? That way on Monday, I could give you a call, or I could just stop by.
Yeah, either way.
Okay. Well, I know it's not ideal what's going on, but at least I got a hold of you early. That way there's not just some type of mad dash. What's your last name, Daniel?
Liska, Liska.
What's a good phone number for you, Daniel?
816-560-4771. That's my cell number.
Okay. I'm going to shoot you a text. My name's Michael Frankie, and I'm with, I own East West Properties. I'm going to send that to you. But feel free to look us up on Google. We've stopped hundreds and hundreds of foreclosure sales and helped so many families. You can check us out on Google and see all those reviews. But would there be a good time on Monday for me to pop by?
Well, just give me a call.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I'll let you know if I'm home or not.
Sure. Because you said you work nights.
Yeah, but I'm off Saturday night and Sunday night.
Yeah. So what time do you usually get up? I don't wanna wake you up.
I'm usually up early on Sunday, Monday morning. So.
Okay. Well, can I at least shake your hand?
Yeah.
All right. And then if you want my business card, here's that as well. But I also texted it to your phone.
Okay.
But if it's okay with you, can I give you a call around 10 or 11 on Monday?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay. Good deal, man. Well, have a good weekend. If you have any questions at all, feel free to shoot me a text, and happy to chat.
Will do. Thank
All right. Thank you, Daniel.
He had said there was other possible options as well.
Yeah, so I can go through all the options that you have, and that can maybe give you some clarity.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, but 100 is not enough right now.
Right.
Or anything close to it.
Yeah.
To be very honest.
So where would you need to be, just so I can wrap my head around it? I maybe could come up a tiny bit, but not a whole lot, just with the repairs that need to be made.
I mean, honestly, I was trying to get closer to the 120 mark.
Right.
Since you're saying it's going to cost that much, I initially wasn't going to go under 150.
Right. Yeah, 150's not going to happen. I don't even think that would happen on the MLS. It's highly unlikely, because right now it's a 2-bedroom, and it would have to be marketed that way just because the basement's not finished. 3 bedrooms, a different thing. But I can go through those options and at least give you some clarity and something to think about. But here are the 5 different options that you have to get this thing taken care of. Number 1 is a reinstatement. Reinstatement just means you're bringing that loan current. So I don't know how far you are behind right now. Do you know, give or take?
Yeah. About a year.
About a year. Do you know what your monthly payments are? Usually?
Somewhere above 700.
Okay.
Which is the reason why I got behind.
So you're probably looking somewhere 7,000 to 10,000 behind to bring it current. I would guess somewhere in there. I mean, is that
Last time I looked, it was about 5,000.
Yeah.
And that was like later on in last year.
Right. So give or take 7 to 10,000 might be fairly close. I mean, is that an amount of money that you think you could come up with, or a family member could come up with to bring it current?
No, not at all.
Okay. So,
No.
all right. So number 1 is out. Number 2 is a loan modification. We're running a little bit short on time, but it's possible. Basically, a loan modification can wrap that amount you're behind into your loan, and then you can pay that back over time of the life of the loan. Have you looked into that option at all with your lender? I know that'd be difficult with the situation right now,
I
but
had, and it would have just made the monthly more expensive, which
yeah,
would have been more difficult for me to make the payment.
right. Yeah, they'd probably have to adjust to a prevailing interest rate, make the payment a little bit higher. So that's probably not a good option
This call
either.
will be terminated in 2 minutes.
Yep, we have 2 minutes, so we better hurry. Third option's my least favorite, but it's really effective. Bankruptcy. I don't like it because of the long-term ramifications. But
Right.
if you did file, you would be able to stop the sale. Now it's going to cost a couple $1,000s with an attorney to have them do that for you. But it's effective. It definitely would work. So fourth option, cash sale. That's what we're talking about. My offer so far hasn't been attractive to you. Maybe I can go back and crunch some numbers and try to get a little bit closer to what you're wanting. But fifth option is called subject to. Basically, I could reinstate the loan. I would bring it current, and I would take ownership of the house, but the loan would stay in your name. And perhaps if we felt like it was a
This call will
mutually...
be terminated in 1 minute.
Perhaps if we thought it was mutually beneficial, you could stay there as a long-term tenant, and it would at least keep you in your house. So I know we're short on time, so I don't know if you want to talk again. I can crunch some numbers tonight, but is there a time tomorrow where you can call? I don't know how that works for you right now.
Yeah, is there a specific time that you need me to call?
No,
Or that you are available? Or?
I'm available. It's Saturday, but
Okay, then I can give you a call to see
Okay.
if we can work something out.
While I was gone.
right. Okay. And you're just wanting to sell. You're wanting to, like, what are you wanting to do next? Are you looking to rent somewhere, buy a house? I mean, kind of paint a picture just so I can understand your situation, see how I can help.
My situation is that I retired last week.
Oh, congratulations.
Start getting my pension on May 1st.
Uh-huh.
And what is it? I'm back here to take care of this problem here.
Okay.
And I got to get some operations done while I'm here.
Mm.
And my neighbor next door is the surgical doctor, so I'm
Oh,
going
no
to
kidding.
back here to do the operation because he's the only one that I trust. And but I'm just wanting to get done with this place.
Yeah, I understand.
I got my situation is that I made all the payments up till December. I got a lawyer that didn't do his job, and I got rid of him Friday, and I got me a woman ball buster now. But I got a lawsuit getting ready to go on against the U.S. Bank, my brother, and possibly the attorney that I had because he didn't do what he was supposed to do. I'm not even supposed to be in this situation.
Right.
Money was taken out of my mom's account, and money was taken out of mine and her account.
Right. Okay.
And I mean, that's what the deal is right now. And then they're wanting to foreclose on it
Thursday.
quick. But I've talked to tons of people so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just throwing everything out there and getting everybody's what's best for me and going on. Right?
Absolutely. So what I'd like to do, I'll just go over the 5 different options that you have. I'll ask you some clarifying questions, see if there's one that stands out to you, and we can take it from there. Number 1 is the best option for you by far. Number 1's to reinstate the loan. Reinstatement just means you're paying that back due payment to the foreclosure attorney. Once you catch it up, all is well, and you can do whatever with the house that you want. Do you know, give or take, how far you're behind on the house right now?
Yeah, I know how much is owed or how much they want.
Okay.
Get it reinstated.
What's that amount?
10,000 something.
Okay.
It's like $36.
Okay. So, I mean, is that an amount of money? You talked about, retiring and stuff like that. I mean, is that an amount of money that you could come up with, or an amount you could get from, a 401k or retirement or whatever you have?
Well, I've been working on that, but by the time the sale goes, it's probably still going to be working on it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Nobody seems to want to move fast.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I just found out about this about 2.5 weeks ago that they were foreclosing. Because all the mail stuff, I just got here about two weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago, and all the mail was getting sent down to my brother's. Okay. But make a long story short, he was power of attorney while she was in the hospital in 22. She died December 6th of 22, and the money was taken out in December 23.
Okay.
So after he was power of attorney, when she died, I took over everything.
Okay. So you don't think here in the next handful of days that you, through your work or a family or friend, could come up with that type of money to reinstate? I mean, do you think that's likely, unlikely?
I mean, anything's likely. I could come up with something somewhere with somebody, but
right.
I mean, I'm just trying to. I don't want to drag other people.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, I went through a foreclosure situation back 2014. I was a teacher back then, so I get not wanting to drag people in, even if they can help you. But that.
I mean, I had options over the weekend, family members, stuff like that. But man, you don't do business with family.
Right.
I'm already in that mess right now.
But that's my first option. It's what I like for you the most. I would prefer you just to solve it on your own. I really only want to be a backup plan, to be honest. Second option, we're a little bit short on time for it, but it's a loan modification. Now that the house is in your name, I mean, have you spoken with the lender about wrapping those past due payments into the loan and just changing the terms of the loan?
The people with the loan, I mean, I was going through the attorney, so I don't know what the deal. They wouldn't talk to me. I called.
Okay.
Because they said I wasn't on the note, but I'm on the Jackson County deal as the owner and the taxpayer now. So
when did the court give you the rights to the house? Was that quite some time ago, or?
What was it? It was.
So I think she filed it. I don't know.
I think it was in,
November, maybe. I don't know.
I think it was in December. Or January of 2024.
So what you could do, since will they still not speak to you?
No, they still won't talk to me.
So what you could do is take the papers that the judge and the court gave you that gave you approval of ownership, send those over to the attorney and or lender. It'll take them a couple of days to process because they're slow, but they should speak to you with those documents. So I would definitely send those over.
The thing is I don't have a couple days.
Right. But it's at least worth the few minutes to fax those documents over, just to.
I think they've already been sent.
Okay.
By my old attorney.
Right. So that's the second option, loan modification. We're a little short on time, probably not likely. Third option's my least favorite, but it's effective. Chapter 13, bankruptcy. Have you considered that?
Yeah, I know I can go up there and do that on my own.
Yep, you definitely can. So what will happen if you do that is the sale will be stopped for between 45, 60 days or so. Okay, but what will also happen is that will stick with you for 7 years or so. It'll crush your credit, which I don't know if your credit's the one that's been affected. It was probably your mom's, right?
Yeah.
So you could file bankruptcy, but it's going to hurt your credit. It'll stay with you. And during that 60-day period, you're going to have to do one of these options that I'm explaining to you. But obviously, if you file bankruptcy and it's a couple of months down the road, the arrears are going to be higher. That loan modification will be harder to do because of the bankruptcy. So it just kind of puts a Band-Aid on an infected wound, so to speak, but it's effective. So that's an option if you want to do that. Sounds like you're kind of educated that you can just fill out some paperwork and do it on your own.
Yeah, I got the how-to sitting right here in my folder.
Right,
Somebody
right.
doesn't give me that. Just go up there, and they said, don't take this in with you when you do it, though, but take a picture of it on your phone, and that way you can refer back to it. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. So you can do that. I don't recommend it. I've seen thousands of these situations. Given that you want to sell the house, I'm not sure it makes sense to destroy your credit for the next handful of years, but it's an option.
I probably don't have 7 years left in me, tell you the truth.
Oh, come on now.
Everybody that retired that I know has not made it 2 or 3 years that I worked with that retired so far.
Well, then you better go find another job. I'm just kidding you. I'm just kidding.
I'm going to stay busy, believe me. I'm going to stay busy.
Yeah. So that's third option. Fourth option might be interesting to you just because you said you wanted to get rid of the house. Cash sale. Obviously, I'm sure there's 58 other people that have said that to you. So we could obviously meet, go through the house. I could get you the best offer I could. Obviously, we'd have to deal with right of first refusal and Lotawana. I'm sure you know about that.
I've already talked to both neighbors. Either one of them's one that.
Okay. Well, that makes it easy.
They'd love to have it, but they ain't got the money right now.
Right. Fifth option is something that you might be interested in. It's called subject to. Subject to is a fancy way of saying that I could bring the loan current. I would catch up the arrears. I would take ownership of the house, but the loan would stay in place. Now, I'm pretty sure you have a ton of equity in the house, don't you?
Yeah.
So what we would do in that situation is I would probably put some money into the house, get it market ready. I don't know what condition it's in. Is it in pretty good shape or does it need quite a bit?
It needs some work done on it.
Okay. So obviously, you know, Lottawana's hot. Everyone wants to be in there. What we could do is partner on the deal. I take it down subject to. I put all the money into restoring the house. We list the house for full market value. I haven't looked up comps. I haven't done that yet, but we could. We'd list it for full market value. When it sells, we would have a pre-agreed upon agreement of the percentage of equity that goes to you and the percentage of equity that goes to me at the end. This would all be spelled out clearly in a notarized document, but it's probably the way that you maximize your money with none of your own investment. So really the two options I like, or three options I like for you. One I like the most, reinstate. If you can come up with the money, please do it. You don't need me if that's the case. If you come up with the 10, 15 grand, whatever it is. Two, I could give you a cash option, okay, but so can all the other hordes of people that have contacted you. Three, provides some flexibility because you want to sell, but you obviously need some time. You probably lived there for a while, so it's not like you want to get out of Dodge in the next week or something.
I haven't been here for over 2 years, so.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's not sentimental to me or nothing no more.
Fair enough.
I moved in here when I was 15 years old, but I'm done. I lived out here. I've had my own place out here and stuff, so.
Right.
But I mean, I got my game plan where I'm going, so.
Yeah. So you could.
Okay, let me ask you a couple questions on this. If we do the plan 5,
the subject to.
Yeah, the subject to so explain that one to me. Would you have to be out of the house?
No. So on that one provides the most flexibility. If I went with cash, I've got an expensive loan in place, private money that costs quite a bit. So I'm going to want you out of there pretty quick. With subject to, I have less cash expenditure to acquire the house per se. So there's flexibility. So in that situation, I can give you a lot more time in the house.
Hey,
So
can you hold on a second? I got a police officer at the door.
Uh-oh.
Hey, can I call you right back?
Absolutely.
A few moments later.
Option 5 is that subject to. What that means is that I would bring the money to bring the house current. Okay, so that 10 grand or so. I would take ownership of the house, okay, and the loan would stay in place. But we would come up with an agreement, pre-agreed upon with you and I, to where I would put money into the house to remodel it, get it up to market standard, and then I would list the house for full retail, whatever we find that to be. And then at the end, after realtor fees and remodeling cost and holding cost, etc., there will be a final profit, and we will have a pre-agreed upon split for that profit. So it could perhaps maximize your money some.
Okay, but like I said, on the one, because what is it? I got my daughter and my granddaughter who stayed here and took care of things.
Yeah.
I don't want to put them out anywhere. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the best part about subject to. It provides flexibility. So like I'd kind of said, if I bought it cash, it costs me a fair amount per month to have that money. So then I'm going to want people out quicker. With subject to,
I mean, still, if you do number 2's buying the house, right?
number one's reinstatement. Number two is loan modification.
Okay.
3 is the bankruptcy. 4 is cash sale. I could give you a straight up cash offer for the house. And 5 is that subject to where I could bring it current. We could partner on the deal. I could give you and your daughters or whoever else is living in there plenty of time to find something else in terms of housing. And we also assist with that if you're interested. I know you said you had a plan, but I don't know if they do.
Well, I want to make sure everything is taken care of here before I head back where I'm going.
Right.
I'm going up to the Great Wild yonder up north.
Oh, cool.
That's where I've been. That's where I'm going back to.
But obviously the sales, I think it's on Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So I'm based out of downtown Lee Summit at the old post office is where my office is. But I'm happy to roll out there, have a deeper conversation with you. You're not obligated to anything. I just want to help you out, walk you through all these options at a deeper level if you'd like, and help you come up with what the right decision is for your family.
That sounds like a good plan.
Okay.
What are my options?
So let's just go through these. There's 5 of them, okay? First option is by far the best for you. It's called a reinstatement. That option basically says, hey, I'm X amount behind, 10,000, 15,000, whatever it might be. If you bring that current, all is well. So my hope is always that you can find that money yourself, or a family or friend could get it to you, or someone could loan it to you. So I don't know if you've pursued that at all, or...
I have not exhausted my options.
Yeah. So that's what I would prefer to have happen as someone in your sphere or business partner, family member, come up with that money, and then all is well.
Yeah, I have a bunch of stock that I can't sell.
Yeah, but obviously the sale's Thursday afternoon. We got 3 business days. So definitely keep that at the back of your mind, but just know that we're here as a backup plan. So that's first option. I would definitely make it your homework to speak to your buddies, your business partners, or family, see if they can come up with that type of money for you.
I'll just tell the truth on Facebook and tag my family and say, I need this. Will anybody save my house?
Second option, assuming that you're not able to come up with those funds, is a loan modification. Loan modification basically means your lender. Who's your lender in this house?
Citizens.
You would work with them, fill out their litany of paperwork, and hopefully they would wrap that into your loan.
I tell you, that's probably not going to happen with them.
Probably not at this point. Have you spoken to them though?
Yeah, because when this happened to me before and I was late on a few payments, they're like, well, you can go to this website. Like, it's like, thanks for all the help. I knew it was hopeless. Like, there's just the systems that have been built.
But in 3 days, it's going to be really hard to do that option. So
let's count that out.
Count that out. Third option is my least favorite, but very effective. I don't know if you've looked into a bankruptcy yet, but a Chapter 13 would stop the sale immediately. It would
I like that number.
It would probably delay it 60 to 90 days.
Sick.
But here are the things to think about. Number one, your credit will be even more trash than it already is. Okay?
What's less than crap?
Number two, it would stay with you for 6, 7, 10 years on your record. So if you were trying to launch a business, trying to get some money, trying to rent an office space, whatever the heck you're trying to do, you would have to go hire an attorney, find that person.
Okay.
They would want a couple $1,000s up front.
Okay.
Of which that may be hard to find. And then if you did file, let's say you filed, right? It stops the sale, done. It extends the sale 60, 90 days. Well, during that time, your reinstatement's building. So instead of 12 or 15,000, it's 20,000 now. It's hard to do a loan modification with your bankruptcy on your record. So there's just some things to think about.
Yes.
To me, that is a Hail Mary approach that you do at the last moment, if absolutely necessary.
No worries. What's the next option?
Option 4 is a cash sale. Pretty simple. You could work with anyone of your choice, accept a cash offer. They'd pay off the note. Hopefully, you'd come away with some money.
Cool.
Okay. Fifth option is something that might be of interest to you. It's called Subject to. Subject to is just a fancy way of saying that I could reinstate the loan. So I would bring the 12, 13, 15,000, whatever it is. I would reinstate the loan. I would take ownership of the house.
Yeah.
The loan would stay in your name. So that's the good thing, is that payment stays reasonable. Like you got in didn't you get in a really good rate?
Yeah, I was blessed.
What'd you get it at?
2 1/4.
Right.
At
So
250.
2 1/4 is probably a third of what you could get right now if you got a loan, 7, 8%.
Yeah.
Right. So that loan is impossible to get. So in this situation, it provides some flexibility. I reinstate the loan. I take ownership of the house because the payment
I like
every
that
month,
option the best so far.
the payment stays so low. Maybe you guys could stay on as long-term tenants if you decided to work it that way. Then
I love that idea.
if this worked, you have a couple options from there. Let's say in a few months, 3 or 4 months down the road, you're like, this renting thing's fine, but I just feel like God's calling me to do something else somewhere else.
Absolutely.
In that situation, we could then list the house full retail, put some money in it, maybe partner on it, do these things. That's one option.
You saved the best for last, didn't you?
Yeah, of course. Then another option is that this has been cool for probably half a dozen people that I've worked with over the years. It doesn't happen often, but it has happened. Is people will allow me to buy it subject to. Maybe they're going through a really rough patch, then they get a job or get traction again, and they're like, hey, it's been a couple years, I actually can get approved for a loan now. And they've bought the house back.
Yeah.
Which has been kind of cool.
Let's buy the neighborhood together. Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that.
But that subject to option provides flexibility, is what it does.
Let's do that one. I like that one. Let's do subject to. I'm glad to have met you.
I'm glad to have met you too.